it with two hands. And that left leg just kicking around to prevent the swing. And there was the hype we talked about. All right, well, we'll have a look at Boulder 2 next. And that is our leaderboard as things stand. The yellow bar fills up all the way for a top, halfway for a zone. Tops are on the right as well, top zone, and then top attempts. So that's attempts to the top, and that's to separate the athletes further if they all get zones and draws. So as you can see, Majdi came up first, and he is leading the way at this stage in the competition. But the other ones, of course, they have more time out there.
And I would just give a quick shout out to the incredible backdrop here in Saudi Arabia. We are in the middle of the desert, and it's just a very novel event for, I think, everyone here.
And we're going back to the top on the pack. Here we go.
Well, here we go again. This is our second 2 minutes. So as we know, Anže, he didn't get it done in the first 2 minutes. He has another 2 minutes. And remembering about the sequences has got to be hard when you're sat there just watching other people.
And let's see if we see some changes to their own sequence in this format. Like if they see that's not the best, or they have to establish the bicycle, or things like that. It's really going to be interesting to see who does and doesn't want to change their bit, because it might not work for everyone.
Yeah, will he get distracted by others? Will it give him a bit of confidence? He knows what he's doing is correct. It's so different from a normal World Cup. I'm enjoying it. And a slap of his hands. The frustration's starting to come on. He knows he's only got a minute 20 left.
Massive encouragement from the local crowd here.
Yeah, and they're sitting there just thinking about just this boulder for so long, so you can really tell the emotion and the body language of them.
I actually think this new way is more stressful because the 2 minutes goes so quickly, and it's not like you can build towards the 4. It's just 2 minutes each time they get on the boulder. So much for them to have to deal with out there, but it is fascinating for us watching it. I'm glad we're sat here rather than out there on the mats. We're watching Anže back from Slovenia. Needs to get that right foot up onto the crimp.
The press and gets it
much more solid with the dance.
He knows.
Wow, 30 seconds to go, and he's dropped the very last hold.
And he is sprinting. He knows he can do this boulder, and he is locked in on it completely.
Yeah, you can see those eyes laser focused as he starts the journey, but he's going to have to be rushing a little bit here, and we know what can happen if you do rush through this sequence, so he's still going to have to be careful. 13 seconds. It's all about this move, and he can hold it. 8 seconds. One last move to the top. You can't really have time to set that balance. And it goes.
What an attempt, ladies and gentlemen.
A great attempt, but still just leaving with the zone.
Yeah, just the zone. He can't improve with the second 2 minutes, and that will be the end of, finally, the end of his boulder number 1. Didn't quite have time to set that left foot on the black hold. Had to rush with only 8 seconds to go.
Right,
got it on. Made the pop. Not quite. All right, Mathieu Ternon is on. Big shout to start things off with. And now he will start again as creeps the rolls the right, rotates that right knee just a little bit.
And you can really tell that they're trying to control their tempo more on this one, because they're I think every single athlete is way more confident knowing what they're doing, at least.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's in the way they're moving. You can see it, that added confidence as he brings that right foot down into the bicycle, like everyone has done. Creeps that right foot up. Slowly, slowly. Then he's got to start to weight it. Eyes locked on the thumbs. This is better from Mathieu.
He's got another good minute on the clock if he wants to get in another attempt, but I think he's laser focused on getting it right now.
Left foot though keeps bobbling. Keep an eye on that. Look, it did pop as he went up.
Okay, let's watch his process trying to reset for his second boulder with 55 seconds on the clock, so he's going to brush that hold and that hold, because that's the most important one, because he can do the rest of the moves. So let's see if he can get our top.
Yeah, the start, not too bad from now. Now he's figured out the sequence. It's just that black hold. You can see it in the centre of your screen, disguised on the wall. And that's the one that popped as he made the move up to the final hold. Drops in with the right once more. So far, easy as we'd expect. That's the hold. Hovering by his head that he has to stand on later on. Thumbs are in and brings his hand up and away.
And And I think this format allows for some interesting sort of avant-garde styles of route setting that allows for things like the infamous Myrigan crack, where if every athlete knows that, it makes the route setters be able to set more things.
Yeah, that's true. I can't wait to see what they have in mind for the finals and the women's semi and finals tomorrow. I have to wait and see. Mathieu, though, cannot get a top, so he'll just stick with his zone score from the first round. Let's see this again. Watch that left foot. And you can see it popped off as he went for that final hold. Good work from Mathieu, though. Thumbs were in, locked underneath that hold.
Here it comes now. Give big round of applause.
Just the last move that got to him. Okay, well, boulder number 2. The athletes are out on the stage because they'll get a chance to see this. Edvards will climb first, and we are continuing the sequence of athletes. So he doesn't go on boulder number 1 because he's already done it. He gets to move on to boulder number 2. And Sam, totally different style here.
Absolutely. Look at that. He's going through this boulder very fast. He's exerting a lot of pressure and that sort of the press on that overhang style versus a very bouncy slab.
Yeah, the zone hold blocked as well, so there's another hold above it. That's to prevent him getting more fingers involved. Deep drop knee, as you can see with the left. And a really awkward position to get out of that box.
Yeah, especially, like, think about how strong you have to be to press your entire weight and in and then out of that box.
Yeah, well, he knows what's ahead of him now. He goes again. Just a minute left on his first attempt. On his first round of attempts, I should say. High left foot, big press with the right shoulder as he gets stood up, trusting that left foot. And this box we were talking about, it's kind of the position he's in now. So he's fitted into if you imagine a square on your screen, he's into that box, but now he's got to move out of it, and that left foot needs to go from a drop knee into a different position.
Wow, look at the strength.
Doing a great job getting out of that drop knee.
Sam, there's so much physicality going on there, isn't it? Because people new to the sport might look at this on your screen and think, oh, he's just standing on a wall, what's the problem? But, I mean, so much tension required.
Yeah, and you still have to think about the types of physicality you're having to deal with. You're having to deal with probably 4 different types of physicality in one round. As we saw on the slab, you need to be able to exert pressure into your feet and to balance yourself, and now he's having to exert pressure on just a tiny little bit of that toe and be able to maneuver that drop knee. It's just an incredible feat of strength that sport climbing is.
It is, and he can't get it done this time. He'll leave the stage with 6 seconds to go. And we will rotate back, if I've got this right, according to the score, back to boulder number 1. And let's have a little look at this from Edvards.
Would you rather be anywhere else right
So he got the zone. He tried to do a hand match there.
Yeah, that is not enough surface area to match at all, so you sort of have to do the little Houdini switch where you move one off while you get the next one. But it's such a small hold that you don't even get much of your weight offset by that.
Yeah, you got to be really accurate. Didn't work for him, but now we flick back to boulder number 1. This is great for people with short attention spans. I like this format. Get to see lots of different climbing going on. Right, Manu, he knows what he has to do. Can he execute? Got a zone in his first round. Well, look at the difference that's made watching a few people. He's into the thumbs straight away. Left foot now. It looks like you could just jump for it, but you have to trust that left foot a little. Oh.
He's got another minute, and he knows how to climb the start of this route, so you can tell he's way more confident.
Manu will go again. The crowd get behind him. Hope you are at home as well. Manu Cornu has 1 minute left to get boulder number 1 done. As we said, he knows the start, but mistakes can still happen.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to push that much tempo and rush through this boulder.
And of course that time is ticking down. There'll be a pressure. And the DJs also ramp things up with a bit of a pressure tune in the back. It's all go for Manu.
Yeah, the organization of this event has been very professional as far as music goes and the boulders themselves, and NEOM has done a very good job of hosting a climbing event, I would say.
Yeah, I've been impressed. Dinner, fantastic as well. Right, Manu will get stood up towards the final hole. Thumbs are in. And this really is his last chance to get this done. He'll need to trust the left foot. One hand on it.
Oh, and he's rushing back on this boulder.
He hasn't even chalked up again. Oh. Well, you never know.
Impressive things that this format is making these athletes do.
I want to see him do this now. Oh, he's not going to though. Well, Manu with a scream as he has a look over to the left where Mathieu Tennant is watching on.
All right.
No go for Manu.
What about DJ Jealous doing a great job on the music, yeah?
Boulder number 1, only been climbed once so far. That was the shout of frustration at the end for Manu Cornu. But he is in touch with that zone. Next athlete out will be Gianluca Bosch.
Wasting no time getting his chalk on and getting on this boulder.
Yeah, he's been sat either watching or backstage thinking about this moment. Now he gets to test it out. I wonder if they go back and practice certain moves on the warm-up wall behind just to practice it.
Yeah, I'm not sure they have this exact angle back there. I was there doing a practice day for speed, and I'm not sure if they actually have a slab, but it's interesting. Maybe that's the thing that happens eventually in this format.
I'd certainly go warm my feet up, have a bit of a stretch back there, because you have to commit to these delicate feet. He's got the right on, stands up to the thumbs.
Here we go, lots of time available. Lots of time
Does he have the height for that?
You can see he wanted to almost go statically, but I think he's going to have to do a bit of a pop. Sets himself up. Left hand.
He gets about third top for Gianluca Bosch.
Yeah, and made sure of it as well. The judges award him. He's done. Well, second top of the afternoon. And let's watch this again. Left hand up. Brought the right to match, and keep an eye on the shake he had going on. Look at that. Left hand was good, but the right hand, I thought you were going to drop it for a sec. Shaking with that right.
Yeah, I think he's just very passionate and emotionally invested in this boulder after you think about it for 20 minutes, saying, I want to do nothing else besides this boulder right now.
Yeah, it gets personal, doesn't it? It's different from other World Cups. It's like revenge time. Well, let's see if Ritsu Kayotani can get some revenge, shall we? Minute 50 on the clock.
All right, let's see if it is lunchtime.
Yeah, now you've told us that story, you know, he's going to have to live up to this. Oh, wipes that hand on his trousers, trying to get rid of a little excess sweat. Drops back down as well to readjust the feet. Now the left foot is more in action as the right presses up into the top of that zone hold.
Lots of time.
Right foot on the crimp now. He's slow and steady at the moment.
All right.
That's not going to go. Minute 15. Ritsu has a long look. His eyes are focused on the end of this boulder. That's the business end.
Yep, I think we've seen every athlete get to that point at the Spinar sort of little bottleneck.
Yeah, and all the athletes have left the stage right now, so no one is continuing to watch. So Yoshiyuki and Mejdi, for example, who didn't get tops on this, they're not watching right now. The Ritsu is setting himself up. 2 thumbs in and a shout as he comes down.
40 seconds on the clock.
And now we know that run starts, Sam. They suddenly realise how little time they have.
Yeah, you can really tell that they are not too used to it.
Well, his hips, a big skip over to the right this time. None of that adjustment we saw before, so better positioning from Ritsu.
20 seconds left.
Right foot turns into that toe.
15 seconds.
He just doesn't have the height for that, even fully extended onto his tippy toes.
No, and he doesn't look particularly close, and he does decide to go, so it's just going to be a zone for Ritsu.
Oh yeah, great appreciation from this amazing crowd down here.
Gets stood up, thumbs in. It wasn't going to be that time for Ritsu, and he did look pretty far away from it.
You were looking
let's see
amazing.
if he can sort of make a comeback on boulder number 2. Yoshiyuki, I think he got in the zone. This is our last climber out, because I think Mejdi did top on boulder number 1.
Yeah, this is it from Yoshiyuki. So, and he brought out the other half of those 2 pairs of shoes, just in case he's going to swap back. So I think he might give that a go if this doesn't work for him. Thumb on the crimp now.
Yeah, it's definitely a unique opportunity to make adjustments that are sort of more macro like that, where you can, in between rounds, change shoes if you want a softer rubber or a harder rubber.
Yeah, and he did do that. Walked out with 2 sets. Let's see for this move. It's not going to happen. He asked for a brush, but no shoe change yet.
Rushing forward now with a minute.
Yeah,
I don't think I would go for a shoe change with this little time on the clock, sorry.
No, it's not a lot of time, is it? You're right. Minute 16. If you do have a shoe change, that really takes the time out. So I'm not sure he will do that. Let's see. Yoshiyuki starts going towards the right once more. Drills that foot down to the friction of the hold as now he gets stood up.
1 minute.
Holding my breath here as Yoshiyuki nears the thumbs. And he's in this time.
Here we go. Here we
Right,
go.
left foot pressing. His thumbs popped that time as he went. I think the right fired off.
Still doable.
Yeah, he's still got 40 seconds on the clock. Let's see if he can get one more good attempt going to the top. You can tell he really wants it.
Yoshiyuki does the foot swap. 30 seconds now. That thumb is in, that left foot makes the adjustment again, nearly stood on his own foot trying to do that move.
20 seconds. Oh.
Yoshiyuki with 16 seconds.
Crowd are
I
shouting
think he's
for
going to be
one more.
done. He is.
Good attempt from
Thank
him.
you, Yoshiyuki.
Yeah, Yoshiyuki says goodbye to us, waving those shoes that weren't in use. Has a look at boulder number 2. And from now on, we will be sticking with boulder number 2. Boulder 1 is fully done now, compared to our normal World Cup style. We'll get to see it twice for a lot of the athletes.
From France, he's coming out very shortly.
And this was Yoshiyuki's attempt. Had the thumbs close.
Let's bring him out. Here he is.
Mejdi on our second boulder, the second athlete at the top in the first round of boulder number 1.
Yeah, this is to keep the time consistent for the athletes. That's why we're seeing it like this. But it does take a bit of getting used to if you're not used to it. All right, Mejdi stands up into the zone with the left hand.
I think he did watch Edvard on that boulder, so he knows the style of getting in and out of that box and how difficult that is going to be. As you can see, Edvard had a drop knee on at this point on the route, but Mejdi does not. So I think it might be easier for him to get out of it.
Yeah, exactly that. And look how quick he's done it. So he's made the adjustments, and this is where this format of the competition is so
Here we
interesting.
go.
But he's got the top to come, and it's blocked, so he needs to be accurate and has to stop the swing. His body will be wanting to go to the left.
You can tell he just wants a toe hook and somewhere.
He just committed to the...
Goes for the crimp and he's too strong.
It really is. Full body tension from Mejdi. I mean, he didn't need that toe.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Mejdi leaves the stage. What a performance from him. Hit that top with the right hand. And we were talking about maybe getting a toe out right in order to counterbalance the weight, but he didn't need it. Full tension.
Yeah, you can tell he was sort of looking around for him.
Yeah, it's 2 out of 2 for Mejdi as well. All right, next up will be Anjay as we wait. The boulder has been prepared by our brushing team. And Sam, talk to me about tents for where we have this moment, because we're all sleeping in them.
So there are, this is a village. I think we had some drone shots up for it, and we're not staying in hotels or any sort of things like that. We are staying in tents. So basically 3 carpets on the ground in the middle of the sand, and then a tent around it is our sleeping quarters. And so it gets quite cold and quite hot in these tents. But, you know, it's all part of the experience, I would say.
It's certainly fun, put it like that. Right now, Anjay is on, and he also not with that drop knee in.
Yeah, you can tell, I think he's either learning for it or it's just more his style.
Out with the left, good work so far. He'll need to do this foot swap, which he does quickly. Doesn't bother with the toe, just gets set up on the top. Seemed to be a little lower compared to Mejdi.
Yeah, I think he saw that Mejdi sort of went for it just more straight up and tried to go for it, but I think it does require a good fair bit of control on that left, sort of the bicep curl in.
Yeah, he'll have to make adjustments.
That was a great attempt. Still
The other athletes on the left of the stage are watching on.
You guys, good mate.
Chalked up.
Let's hear it for these guys over here as well, guys.
And he's resting through here because he'll know he's got another 2 minutes to come. And he got really close.
47 seconds.
44 seconds now on the clock.
Slovenia on the wall.
Cracks in the high foot. Great flexibility as he rocks upwards towards the blocked crimp. Making the swap this time.
30 seconds.
Right, watch where his feet end up here. He needs to get a bit more height. He's changing his mind. He's going to go with the left hand.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that because you just have no service area on the right hand, so I'm not sure if that's the best way to do it, but he seemed like he was testing it out.
Yeah, even though they've seen Mejdi do it, remember, there's not one way to climb these boulders. Often we see boulders climbed in different ways by different athletes, so just because he knows it was done by somebody else, that won't affect him, will it, so much for certain attempts.
Yeah, and of course, a very experienced climber, I think over 100 World Cup participations, so I think he really is aware of that fact that there's so many different styles and so many different strengths for athletes, and he can sort of realize that.
Yeah, well, he'll go back. He'll reappear at some point to watch, but right now, Mathieu Ternant is on. Left hand into the crimp, that's the blocked hold we keep talking about. Look, just the end pad in action of his fingers.
So he does go for the drop knee, and he will turn it around here.
Yeah, the drop knee helped him get, but he needs to swap those hands over somehow, pressing with the palm.
125.
So what he was trying to do there is get that left hand pressing into the black volume surrounding the zone so he could move his right in. A lot of chalk, of course, left behind from the athletes previous. Sometimes they get some clues, although in a format like this, less important. Hooking with that left foot. Now stands up into the crimp. Gets that drop knee in order to create a bit of space, bring up that right foot. Now I want to see how he tries to swap his hands here. He needs to get his right where his left is. Tries the palm again. I'm not convinced by that.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he has to get his right foot or right hand on that tiny little hold in order to advance in this route.
Yeah, I think he's going to have to go for the match Houdini style or not. But he's got 30 seconds left in order to try something. Hooks with the left toe. Stands up. And if I was him right now, I'd just do something completely different just to see. 14 left.
10 seconds.
Still
goes for the palm. I'm not sure about it. I think he'll kind of realize that might not be the way watching these other athletes.
Well, he leaves the stage. He's holding his lower back as well, so maybe a little bit of a tweak and shakes out the left hand.
Yeah, just think about how much pressure is going on, sort of in an awkward manner, on your lower back for this move, because you're curling yourself into the wall. So it is, bouldering is a very, very physical sport. So you really have to realize that. Edvard on his second attempt.
Yeah, so he's already had 2 minutes on this boulder. He was the one who we saw first of all with the drop knee, trying to move all the way through the drop knee. It'll be fascinating to see if he'll adjust it. That's what he's standing on with the left foot at the moment.
Here we go.
Goes for the drop knee. Let's see if he can turn it out. Looks like his left leg is sort of shaking, like he really in sort of an awkward fall position.
Yeah, so he went for the match on the zone hold crimp rather than the palm that we saw Mathieu do, and I do think that's probably the way forward.
I do think that's better. It's just an extremely hard move to do.
Yeah, imagine if you're watching at home, just look down at your fingers, look at the last little pad on your fingers, and imagine half of that. That's all the athletes are pulling on. And then when we make a hand match like he's doing, he's basically only using one or two. So super hard for these athletes. Hits that crimp.
And these are brand new holds in the super dry desert, so they are cutting up your skin. Like even from trying some of these boulders earlier with the Saudi Arabian local climbers, my hands are like cut up.
Sam, don't do that. You've got Speedcom to come in a couple of days.
That's all right.
Have to bathe in skin growing cream in the night. Well, Edvards has 50 seconds left.
Yeah, I would say for speed climbing specifically, it actually doesn't affect you as much to not have as much skin because they're jugs. But when you're doing stuff where you're slapping fiberglass, it's just tearing up your skin and it's painful. So I think I'll be fine, but maybe these guys it would take a toll on more.
Yeah, they have a finals coming tonight, as remember. They've got to get there first, though. And he tries something a little different. I think he wanted to just use the right-hand slope for that. And I think Edvards, with a deep breath, is going to call it a day. So no top on boulder 2 for him.
Kind of a smart move to sort of resign there because of how physical that boulder is. Pressing into that, you really don't want to waste energy if you don't think you can do it.
Yeah, and he'll know he's in a good position with topping boulder number 1, so he'll start to think a bit ahead to the finals. We're only losing 2 athletes out of this 8.
Yeah, it would be 6 out of 8 athletes. So he's quite smart, kind of a sign of a seasoned competitor for someone so young.
So, good work from him. We now move on to Manu Cornu. Struggling with that left foot at the moment. Goes almost horizontal, trusting that left foot as he moves into the zone hold. Ooh, he makes the palm work. Kind of. Almost commentating cursing him way off the wall there.
Still a minute 25.
Well, that allows us to see this different beater that we could keep talking about, Sam, because, you know, different method, and yet he came pretty close there.
Yeah. So I wonder if that will instill confidence.
You know, will he trust that palm a little bit more? He would have watched Mathieu fall off that a few times. Interesting that he went for it. And sometimes instinct comes into play here.
Yeah, and I wonder if he even knows that Mejdi is just way stronger than him in that facet. I mean, because they're both from France, they probably both train at the training center in Veyron. So I wonder if he knows that his strength might be a palm press and Mejdi's might be just going for it.
Yeah, and they know each other very, very well. Manu's a bit like a, I don't want to say dad, because that sounds weird, but he kind of is to young Mejdi. He certainly looks after him on the circuit.
Yeah, it's great to see those kind of relationships between countries and between languages that develop on the circuit.
Manu is close now, hits the left sloper. He's just got the top to come. Right hand in, but it was a bit low on it.
Still 20 seconds. 20 seconds from now.
Manu's got 20 seconds. I think he forgot. I think he thought he had 4 minutes then. You're so used to it. He was super casual as he walked back, and now he's going to have to rush through if he wants to get it done this first time in the 2 minutes. It's not going to be enough time for Manu when he does fall.
Hyping up this small but very informed and very passionate Saudi Arabian crowd.
They are indeed. Well, the DJ gets things going. And if you're just joining us, we're at NEOM Beach Games watching the men's semi-final. 6 athletes will move forward from this stage into tonight's final. And we're watching Manu Cornu get close to the top. Have a look at that right hand. He hit it, bobbled around though, never really had fingers engaged, and that was the last go just before the buzzer. Right, we move on. Jean-Luc Posch. And Jan, another tall climber who might struggle to turn that left leg.
Yeah, the height might be an advantage for him to go for that top move, though. So if he can get through this section of getting himself out of that box, I think it would benefit him to go for that crimp with that height.
Wow,
that's to come. At the moment, he's got to do this move. Somehow tries to cross through the right hand onto the sloper. Double slopers, why not? You see someone do it like that and you think, what's the problem? And yet he's holding on to some pretty bad holds.
25 years of age.
And so he did see Mejdi look around for that foot and then not find one, then go for it. So I think that's his strategy going into it immediately.
Yeah, he committed to that right toe, stretched out over to the right.
With 1 minute 15 remaining.
And that was a good first attempt from Jean-Luc Posch. Left foot pressing. Gianluca gets stood up. He's turned that left knee, commits, but that left hand bobbles.
He did get the palm. He did get the palm beta there, so it is showing that it is possible.
Yeah, he gave it a go before, and then that time wasn't quite on it in the same way. Now with 45 seconds to go, he will reset, probably his last attempt for the first 2 minutes. Gets stood up on that left foot, trusting it horizontal on the wall. 30 seconds, again goes to the double sloper, it works, the left hand stays on this time. Now has 4 hands on what is a good cycle. Goes with a left bump. It's not going to be. Gianluca will leave, he'll have to reset.
I think he can. That was a great first attempt. So let's see if he can get some rest, get some confidence back, recover from how physical that boulder is, and go for the top on his next one.
2 minutes back on the screen.
Oh, we watch some replays again as he went up with that left hand towards the top hold. No go, Mauricio Gaiotani. His turn on boulder number 2.
Interesting to see the Japanese athletes are not wearing their national team jerseys and actually wearing some sort of fashion statement.
I like a fashion statement. I'm quite enjoying it.
I like it. From him and Yoshiyuki. wearing some cool outfits.
They are indeed, yeah, I love the jeans. The stretchy jeans, of course, not your normal average jeans. Maritsu does well with that. I can't believe how long he was on that left palm for.
Cruising on this boulder all the way up. Let's see if he can get that top. His first splash attempt.
Really dynamic from him.
Yeah, just a slight bit away. He fully did commit to that, because in the way he fell, like he thought he could do it for sure. So I think he can do it.
Yeah, had lots of confidence approaching that boulder. So clearly something he's enjoying climbing.
Which is, I would say, a sign of a very good competitor, as he basically got on the last boulder 2 different times and failed to get a top. So it's very good to see him reset as an athlete. It says a lot about him.
Yeah, you have to forget about what's come before, don't you? Refocused.
Ritsu, quite the good outdoor climber as well. I think he's gotten a couple V14s and V15s in Japan. So he's quite, for this style of climbing, that's a very impressive thing to do.
Yeah, it is. It is a different style from rock climbing to plastic climbing. Often these athletes are as good at it, but they don't necessarily have the time always to fit it in amongst the World Cup circuit. Ritsu into the sloper.
Oh, yes.
Looking for a right foot. There isn't one. Oh, a high left toe.
He's finding the toe hook that Meji was searching so hard for. Let's see if it'll be advantageous for him.
It's a bit high, isn't it? He wants something for the feet, though. He's trying to get his foot in a screw hole. Couldn't quite.
And as a climber, it's just instinctual to sort of look around for something that can secure you to the wall more for going to that top. But there's just really nothing the route setters have given them.
There is not. Well, so far, only Mejdi getting it done.
Next athlete also
But lots of zones throughout this competition.
Yoshiyuki Okazu is preparing to enter the stage.
All right, well, Yoshiki is on. I'm looking at his T-shirt now, Sam. I am impressed as well.
Yeah, it's a great little fashion statement. I wonder if they would potentially let us do this in the future. I think I was told that we had to wear USA climbing gear, but maybe they're just some rule breakers.
If you speed climb in a suit or something like that, I'll pay you a lot of money. I'd love to see that.
I was thinking about doing a little video for Instagram of me speed climbing in a Santa outfit.
Please do that, yes.
A little Christmas special.
Yoshiki right now is not climbing in a Santa outfit. He's attempting a very hard boulder and can't at the moment work out how to get that right hand in. Hits the palm. It's almost, if you do that palm dynamically like he did, it looks harder to hold than if you creep it down.
Yeah, I think we saw Gianluca Pasch do it a little bit more controlled than Manuel was attempting.
Yeah, if you do it fast, it's harder to hold it. And he will give it a good brush, making sure it's clean. Minute 12 on the clock for this round. And after Yoshiyuki, we will see the end of Boulder 2, so signifying the halfway point in this semi-final.
Game on, 1 minute.
Yoshiyuki with the high toe. Into the zone now. That move, as we've seen a few times, if you rush it, it doesn't really help. Yoshiyuki again, pressing down on his own knee in order to exert a little bit more pressure through. But going backwards right now, he looks down at his skin. Sam was saying earlier on how rough these new holds are, and in the dryness of the desert, skin will start to make a difference. Yoshiyuki looking tired out there. Does leave the stage and looking down at that left hand. He might have got a little cut. He's still looking at it as he exits the stage. And Sam, of course, blood is not something we want on the mats.
Yeah, blood is not something. I think it is still against the rule book to have blood on the bouldering ground. In speed, it's fine. But, I mean, you hit your knee and then you're done with the route in 5 seconds, so it's all right. But I believe in bouldering, it's considered a hazard.
Yeah, they have to tape it up, prevent that blood getting out. Yeah, so you can't really have a judge halfway up a speed wall pull you down.
Yeah, you can't call them down, though. Just let them finish and then try not to get anything on the wall.
All right, well, Mejdi will move on to boulder number 3, the power boulder. One of the most overhanging sections of the wall. Boulder 4 has a section that's steeper. And this is something Mejdi should enjoy climbing.
I think so. Don't tell the route setters or the organizers, but I did have the chance to climb on this boulder and do this move. So it is an incredibly difficult move. So I was able to get that one, sort of using the speed climber explosivity. But this move is brutal. It is like you're full crimping, then you're doing basically an iron cross. So I was not able to get this, but let's see if Meshdi can.
Yeah, this is his flash go, which means his first attempt. He needs to get that second hand in, hypes the crowd.
And you can tell he is just loving it, being here, and with this small but very, I think everyone in this crowd knows who he is, and he is really, really loving it. So definitely a final spot for him as well.
Good work from Meshdi, gets it done. Flying through the bottom of the boulder. Sam, be honest, how many times did it take you to get that first move?
So, going off the start, to see the two blue holds, and then I think actually the foot was different. So, there's a bigger foot because there's more holds on the wall. But I think I used the bigger foot, and I was able to get the first move, and I think 2 or 3 attempts, and then it's just a lâché from there. And then it probably took me another 2 or 3 attempts to get to the next one where it's the tiny little crimp. And then from there, I was like, I don't want to do this. It's so much. It's so physical.
Well, that is impressive stuff, Sam. Well, right now, this is our leaderboard. Meshdi Shuk leads the way. He's done 3 boulders, and as you can see, 3 tops. So almost on to a perfect score. Then Edvard Grubitz, Jan-Luca Bosch, Ritsu Kayotani keeping in touch with 2 zones, but no tops for him. And as we drop down, Anjay Bahat, Mathieu Tenon, Manu Kornu and Yoshiyuki Ugata, all the zones, but no tops for them either. Looking for our top 6, as you can see, a couple of draws with 5 and 5 together at the moment, so we will go to a top attempts to separate those 2 later on.
Amateur athletes, a lot of my new friends down here were climbing here this morning around lunchtime, looking amazing.
Yeah, the crowd really getting hyped here. That drone shot showing off for our arena, and we're waiting for our next athlete to come out. They'll be sitting backstage. Anjay Bahat runs out onto his second go on boulder number 2. I'd forgotten that for a sec.
Second go on boulder number 2. And these athletes are aware of how good the other athletes are doing. Basically, I don't think they have a full results right now, but I think they have a good picture in their head of how everyone is doing. So they've seen Meshdi top all these boulders and be dominant in the round, and then trying to push to do well and get top 6 out of 8. So it is quite the unique competitive challenge, I would say, for these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Anjay is going to use a left-hand bump. Close. He looked pretty set. He was very low with that right foot, though, in order to almost starfish on the wall.
Yeah, maybe trying to get some tension on his shoe, just to give him a little bit of weight offset to go for it. But
well, it's coming up to the minute mark now. Minute 10 on the clock. He'll go again. The crowd really getting behind him. The arena nicely filled out now, creating a good atmosphere. And of course, as I said before, the sound just echoes around us, so a small crowd feels like a huge crowd.
Yeah, and every single one of these people have had to be bussed into the middle of the desert to go watch these events. So there are definitely people who are very passionate and will be staying for the entire thing, I would say.
That's true, no tents for them. Right, left hand up towards the slope. Let's watch how he does it. He's getting set for perhaps a different way here. He is. He's going up the right this time. Well, similar position, but to me, the right hand looked a bit more solid.
He's going for it.
And Anjay is a strong climber, so he knows he can get that crimp.
Yeah, and you can see that change in body language. 30 seconds to go. He's feeling positive out there. Brings the right foot through once more. Don't rush through here, though. Out with the left. Will he commit to this right hand? I think he will. Little twist of that heel in order to rotate it into the last hole.
Look at how disappointed he is. He knew he could have gotten that. Got so close to that last attempt.
Yeah, that was 2 very good goes from him. He will leave with no top. That last 30 seconds was all important for him. Made the adjustment and beat her, still couldn't send it. This was the throw with the right hand. Got all his fingers in there.
Yeah, that's super close. He was starting to get his way, but it's a tiny, couple millimeters off on that couple millimeters hold.
Yeah, you're right. It's about as close as you can get to a top and not hold it. Unlucky for him. Mathieu Tenon. He got the zone on the first time on this boulder. Can he get a top? In the second 2 minutes into the left. Remember, it was the palm he was struggling with. And we know now, having watched a few athletes do this, how it's possible to do it. He's going to go for the match. Pings a finger off. Oh, then palms. Much better from him. Gets himself set for towards the top, brings those feet in, makes the adjustment, that heel in exactly the same position as Anže was, but Mathieu can make it work, hits the right hand, and the match. Another top.
Coming out with a lot of confidence and getting it on his first go. Quite impressive.
Yeah, and we see this format again. I think he learned, he knew the palm wasn't going to work and went for the match instead.
Yep. Good adaptation from Mathieu.
He leaves the stage. Let's watch it again, shall we? Yeah, I said almost identical body position, and yet he just found a little bit more.
Yeah, but that is an impressive feat of strength for him to be. Just look at how small that hold is.
Tiny, isn't it? His head went backwards as the balance almost left him, and he brought it back towards the wall, and a good top from him. Right, Edvards is out, and he's already got a top on boulder number 1. He'd like to get a second. Sorry, zone on boulder number 2, and he'd like to get a second top on boulder number 3. Gets himself set, drilling that right. That right, those feet there, that foot is terrible as well. There's no edge on it.
Yeah, I think they changed it from when I did it, so I prefer the easier version.
I would too. Edvards is in with the heel. And this is the savage move that Sam was talking about earlier. Hits it with the left.
Absolutely incredible.
And now he needs to float out towards the blocked hole. Good accuracy.
Here we go, let's do some.
Great, yeah.
Quick send by Edvards. That's going to do wonders for his score.
He's having a good round.
He
is, and that should be finals, really.
All but secure finals round.
Edvards, currently second place.
All right, he leaves to the NEOM gates. Let's watch this again. Left hand locked in, never really moved. And look at the accuracy, straight into the gap created between the block hold. Locks off that right shoulder, brings in the match.
All right, good.
Good work from him.
Do you have any speed climbers here this afternoon? All right.
The MC is asking if there's any speed climbers hanging around. Well, they are indeed. They're watching. Most of them are watching here. This boulder round, and this is one of the nice things about being bussed out to the desert is there is nowhere for anyone to go.
Yep.
So you kind of have to watch.
Nothing to do. I would much rather watch climbing than sit in my tent that's boiling hot right now.
That's a good point. Yeah, stare at those carpets. All right, Manu is on. He was chatting to the coach early on, trying to figure out this sequence. This is his second go on boulder number 2. Trust that left foot. Lots of encouragement going on from the crowd. That left knee dropped in. Makes the hand swap really well. Out with the left palm. Manu's one move away.
Here we go, Quan. There's one. Oh.
Just a tiny bit. I think he has it in him.
It's amazing when you see a move like that. 3 athletes now have done it in the same way. Only one has really walked away from it. Crazy. All right, Manu chalks up.
168 centimeters high to
1 minute 10 for Manu.
Centimeters.
Takes his time.
Deep breath.
The MC is dropping some information from his info sheet about his favorite movie is The Pirates of the Caribbean. So
don't know that. I'm not sure that's true. I just can't imagine that being the case. Manu palms. Maybe we'll have to ask him now, Sam.
There is an option for like the IFSC to enter your favorite thing. So I entered some things about myself on there.
Manu hits the right hand, locks it off, wraps the thumb over, makes the match.
Yeah, great job. All 3 of the French athletes getting this, and he is very excited. This crowd is very excited to see it as well.
Great work from Manu. Came out of almost nowhere there, but got it done. That is good work. Manu walks to the front of the stage just to celebrate for a couple of seconds longer.
Big smile on his face. You don't spend it when he's smiling, yeah?
Manu will leave the stage with that strut we used to, get himself pumped up. Let's watch that again, because look at that top.
Let's give Big Man a pause for that.
And then grab the top of the wall to celebrate. You can do that once you've made the top, of course. All right, Jan-Luca Bosch is in the wings, and now onto the stage. The Austrian athlete walks across to boulder number 2, where he gets another 2 minutes on this.
And the story of these boulders, I'm not sure if the route sitters really intended this, is almost every, for both of these, the crux is the top. The crux is the last move of going to it. So these athletes can learn the sequence, and then their main attempts is trying to get that last move in time.
Yeah, it's a good point, Sam. Yeah, I think perhaps deliberate with this format. Everyone trying something new, and Jan-Luca Bosch is one move away again. Just, and he does hold it. Head flick back. Great work from Jan-Luca. So 2 tops, 1 zone for him. Sam, this is going to be tight for who can get in.
Quite the round, especially with so many zones essentially not really mattering in this. But we still have 2 for some and 1 for some boulders left for each of these athletes.
Yeah, lots of climbing still left here this afternoon. Made the match on the top of the holds. And Luca Bosch with a little word to himself as he left. And the sun has come out here once more. It keeps ducking behind clouds. But right now we are bathed in sunshine with the red rocks behind as Ritsu Kayotani runs on for his second go. High left foot starts this rock. So far, as we know, not the hardest of first moves. It ramps up now as he adjusts the right hand. Oh, risky move, but he made it work.
Very fast up to this one.
He's looking, he still wants that right toe. And a heel.
He wants the heel. He thinks he can secure it. Oh. I think that's possible. I think that might be the way for Ritsu.
He seemed to get a bit of purchase, didn't he? Because I was about to say I'm not sure, and then I watched him move a little bit on it. I was like, ooh, maybe. Maybe. Ritsu has a look. And the thing is, the fact he had a bit of progress means he might be tempted to try it again.
Yeah, and he's only got 1 minute on the clock, and this is his second go at this boulder, so it is a risky thing to sort of take, but I think he might do it. Especially competing for that top 6 out of 8 where other people have topped this boulder.
Yeah, he's spending a lot of time looking up at the top of the wall. Which method is he going to choose? Left foot on. There's the zone as he presses towards it. I'd love him to make this heel work. It's outrageous if he does that. He has got to get there first, but he's looking good.
All right, here we go.
Ritsu, make this heel. He's not. He's going to do something different. He's palming now. Oh, he wants the left foot in. Oh, it's double palm. What is this?
It's amazing. He's fighting right now. Oh, you hate to see it. Look at it. It's still a big smile.
That was not what I expected to see.
Not at all, but he almost made it work.
Crazy stuff from Ritsu. Well, there are some of our volunteers. And thank you so much to everyone who's put this event on. It really is special.
Okay?
That was Ritsu. And it's not the wall shaking, by the way. It's the camera hanging off the top of it, so don't worry.
Here we go. Yoshiyuki Ogata.
All right, Yoshiyuki Ogata comes on now.
From Tokyo, 25 years of age.
We, of course...
Ranked first at the Climbing World Cup 2021.
Oh, pushes down on that foot, comes up towards the zone.
The IFSC, the Young Masters here are amazing.
Steady work from Yoshiyuki here.
Yalla!
This is it. What will he do? His teammate did something outrageous. I think Yoshiyuki's going to be more normal in terms of his approach.
Just a little bit slower, and I think he's got that move on lock because he has the height for it that Ritsu kind of didn't.
And Yoshiyuki has crazy strong fingers as well. That's something people say about him. Good grip strength as well. Yoshiyuki pulls on. Big breath as he gets the left foot engaged. Pushes down on that knee to get stood up. Loses the right foot, manages to save it just. But I think he was a bit unsettled by that pop.
Down to the last 60 seconds.
This is the last time we'll see an athlete on boulder number 2. Mejdi got it done already.
Yeah, with Benji leading the way with 3 tops currently, then Edvard slightly behind. So it'll be a close race for the 6 out of 8 spots.
Yeah, it's going to get tense on our final couple of boulders. The last time we see this, though, Yoshiyuki can't get it. Going backwards a little bit.
He's got about 30 seconds on the clock. Most likely his last attempt. You can tell he wants it.
I'm trying to see if he's got tape on that left hand, but I can't see. Remember, he was looking down at his skin when he left last time. Makes the adjustments. Palms. Strong work from him. can't hold the crimp, and again he looks down at those fingers, and he's going to call it a day. And that is the end of boulder number 2. So Yoshiyuki with only zones on boulder number 2, but we've seen more tops on that. Let's check this again from him. That was the move towards the zone. That left arm maybe burning out a bit.
All right.
And we get ready for our rotation. Mejdi is on. He runs, and he'll run all the way down towards the end of the wall.
And he tops out on the 3rd.
Boulder number 4. Can Mejdi make it 4 out 4?
The 4th.
This is a quite unique style, as it's very overhung. You've seen 4 very different routes on this bouldering wall.
Yeah, and there's a zone move that's almost backwards in terms of you've got to down climb it a little bit in order to get there. So can't wait to see this. Mejdi gets thrown the brush.
That was amazing. There we go.
Yeah, you can tell the route setters are really enjoying this format with the way they're setting. I don't think you would ever see anything like this in a World Cup with a down climb.
It's a bit crazy, isn't it? We'll have to see how he works it out. First of all, the jump, though. You can't hang around on that first one. He doesn't. But now gets the heel in, and we get to see this little move back. And when I say down climb, I mean kind of a move sideways like that. But he's into the zone now, and you can see he is a bit lower than he was before. So now he climbs up, as per usual, towards the top. Left hand on the sidewall. He's got a match, though. 1 minute. This is his first attempt on this.
Here he goes.
He is in. Mejdi's going to get 4 out of 4. It's another flash, and he is easily in the top spot right now, leading the way.
We'll see him tonight in finals.
Yes, we will. That coming up a couple of hours after we finish his semi-finals. Mejdi leaves. Quick sense from him. He seemed to warm himself up into this competition. That was the first moves. Had the heel locked in. And that is a great shot to see how overhanging the wall is. We just need a camel walking by in the background for a bit of scenery. But, spectacular. Made the top. Made sure of it. 2 hands on before the celebration. Wrapped his hand over. He knew he had control. Good work from Mejdi out in front, and on paper at least the one to beat later on. Well, those are the results. So 4 tops out of 4 means Mejdi's leading the way, and he won't be beaten. Actually, Gianluca Posch could beat him, but could match his number of tops, but he has had more attempts to the top. So good work from Mejdi. And as we go down towards Manu Kornu, the last one of that top 5 to get a top, and as we go up into the 6th, Mitsu in at the moment, but Anže and Yoshiyuki will need to improve if they want to go forward into tonight's finals.
Yeah, it seems like the 6, 7, and 8 spot are quite close, as you have 0 tops and 2 zones. It's coming down to attempts, so I wonder if this boulder, the next boulder, will be the decisive factor for that.
Yeah, 14 goes Yoshiyuki had on boulder number 2.
Quite the passionate climber. I wonder if that's going to bite him with the skin and the energy that takes to do those boulders.
All right, boulder number 3. We return to that. Anže was close before. Sorry, hasn't tried this. This is his first go on this boulder. Perhaps one of the easier ones on this circuit of boulders.
Totally breaking my ego for being able to get it this morning.
Yeah, sorry, Sam. Apologies about that. It's all right. I couldn't pull off the ground.
It's all right.
Into the crimp with the left hand, out towards the top. It digs those fingers.
So a good flash, and I think that those attempts do really matter. But if we see all 3 of these athletes top this boulder, which I think we will, so I wonder if that becomes a decisive factor. Yoshiyuki looking at that boulder with intent, because he really does probably want to get it in 1 or 2 attempts.
Yeah, you're very right. Those attempts will be vital to who gets through. This was Anže launching himself across, nice and easily from him. Good work.
Yeah, he feels good about that. Beautiful replay.
Big fist bump at the top in order to celebrate. Mathieu Tenon is there. Runs from left to right.
And France takes centre stage one more time. Mathieu Tenon.
All right, Mathieu has a little look at the starting holds. He'll know how quickly the other athletes have climbed this. And that rank, by the way, on the bottom left isn't his current rank in this comp. It's the rank for the overall, his position.
I think that's his age, actually.
Oh, there we go. I'm just saying that just so people aren't confused. It's not 27 athletes. Right, Mathieu up underneath. that right hand, gets himself set for the top, stretching, just fingers in.
Super impressive. Yeah, we see 2 flashes from this, so it's going to be an intense Yoshiyuki get up, and he's ready to get this boulder in one attempt.
Yeah, Yoshiyuki watched that on the side of the stage, and as Sam said, he left the stage very determinedly. Well, and Mathieu will leave as well. He's got 1 more to climb. Great work, great slow motion shots to just see all of the physics in play as the athletes attempt to climb these boulders. So much going on. And if this is your first time watching climbing, well, welcome to our sport. You need to come and do it more often. Head down to your local gym. Have a go at this, because once you get addicted to this sport, there's nothing else like it. Edvards. He's having a great round so far.
But secured a final spot, trying to get that. He can't get first position, as Mejdi does have 4 tops and quite a low amount of attempts, but he could try and secure the 2nd position on this last boulder.
Yeah, he's been the one to watch this competition so far. Mejdi, perhaps we'd expect. Edvards has outdone himself.
And it really does show off the skill of Mejdi to be able to do that move, because there's almost, you're hanging at an almost entirely like 90-degree angle. If you're flat on that hold and trying to pull on just fiberglass is really, really impressive.
Yeah, it was good work from the young Frenchman. And the Latvian athlete can't get it first time. He will learn, he'll make adjustments. Better the 2nd, almost held it. Holding on with the left arm, he didn't see it on his shot, his body was swinging really far out. Alright, he goes again, 110 on this round. That's the swing I was talking about, leg kicking up, managed to hold it this time.
Here we go.
Adjusts with the feet, gets a high heel in. And this left hand he's on now, very little to go on that.
Very little going and very overhung as well. So quite impressive at how much force he's exerting to get on this boulder.
Yeah, and releasing that right toe as well, that was full on move from him.
He's looking good going into the top.
Keeping calm.
Well, Mejdi is watching fascinated, the only one to have done it so far. Edvards gets set up towards the top. It is going to be a top, and that's poor apple.
Yeah.
Super impressive from him. Well, Edvards leaves the stage for the final time. Made the adjustments down low in order to stop that swing. Fiddled around with the feet a bit, but from then on it was cruising. That was the shoulder move at the top. Still had to do the match, of course.
And that's an intense shoulder move. You have about 3 feet of space there where you're trying to branch out and lock into that shoulder. And you're putting all of the pressure of doing that move on just that tiny little joint. So if you're wondering why climbers get shoulder injuries, that's because you have things like that.
Yeah, we should mention that the setters aren't deliberately setting dodgy moves, but you are right. Shoulders, you have to keep them strong in climbing. I mean, I'm someone who's had multiple shoulder injuries, I understand. All right, Manu. Good work from him as he starts. Remember, we go back to boulder number 3 if the athletes didn't do it in the first 2 minutes.
Here we go.
This is good work from Manu.
He knows all these other athletes have gotten the flash of this boulder, and he can do it just as easily.
Good work from Manu. Quick work.
Super impressive.
MC is loving Manu Cornu. He's hyping the crowd. There are some of our crowd, but Manu will leave the mats. 1 boulder to go for him.
I think he has secured a final spot as well with 2 tops and a zone as well.
How are we all doing?
Yeah, Manu putting that ankle injury away from his mind. That was a stretch out towards the top. It's good to see Manu Cornu back after a little bit of time. He told me actually that the doctors couldn't believe that he was climbing again, which I think is really cool.
You do see those stories sometimes in climbing where people are just so passionate about what they do that they just don't even notice. They're like, that's all right.
Plus, last comp of the season, you're in a desert. I mean, you've got to make the effort, right?
Yeah, and I think for a lot of athletes, I mean, even if they're not taking it the most seriously, they want to compete, but this is also just an experience for them. The organizers are taking us out to this crag as well, and in a couple days, so it's going to be really interesting to do some outdoor climbing as well in a very unique place.
Yeah, that is to come. Keep an eye out on all the NEOM social media. I'm sure it'll be on that. Right now, Jan-Luca Bosch has his go on boulder number 3. As we said, flashes are important here. And he's in so far. First move done. Needs to start the second. Good jump over. He's solidly in now. He uses the heel. This is the hard move up towards the crimp. One move away. Just needs to match. I think it is going to be a top. It is.
Top and a flash for Jan-Luca Posch. Super strong performance. So that just kind of defers with everyone topping this boulder. It kind of defers it to the next one. So it kind of puts some more pressure on it.
Yeah, and they're probably like that a bit. It's been a hard round for them so far. It was low scoring to start with. Now we're seeing more zones and tops. That was the launch over to the, what do you call that, volcano? Big volume anyway. And the setters are just making some adjustments right now as we watch these replays. Good work from Jan-Luca. Yeah, so when you come back to this shot, that's the adjustments. I think they're just resticking the zone sticker back on. Sometimes that's drilled in. It's a sticker in this circumstance.
Are we all doing?
See it come off sometimes. Little technical difficulties.
Yeah, it's funny, I didn't even notice it was a sticker. I'm so used to them being screwed into the wall. But yeah, stickers. So the setters made those adjustments. Good work for them. We move on to Ritsu. Lots of flashes, and he will know it on this boulder.
Let's see if he has the confidence as a competitor to sort of lock in after he saw all of those other athletes get the flash, and for him to be topless.
Well, it was
without tops.
I know what you mean. It was close. Nearly dropped the move over to the right. One away now from Ritsu. Palm.
Oh, goes for the palm without even messing with the whole thing. Easy top for Ritsu.
I love watching him. He does strange things on a boulder.
He does strange things, but he does them so confidently. He's so fun to watch.
It is great. Well, Ritsu's in and done. Nice and quick. Another flash for him.
This is a quick round, eh?
Yoshiko Gata. See him in a sec. That was the swing. And then have an eye on this. Went for the palm instead. Ignored the crimp.
And that might be a better thing to do, especially when you're trying to do it in one attempt. If you don't hit that super accurately, and this is a hard move, right? This is not like an easy move. It might look like it with everyone, but that is a small crimp that you're going to have to push into. So giving himself a more surface area is definitely a smart move for Ritsu.
Yeah, I think Sam had a good point there. If you're watching this at home for the first time watching this kind of action, as Sam said, this is not easy. 99% of the population would not be able to do this boulder. We're talking about the elite here, and Yoshiyuki is one of those. Makes the match, drops over to the right. Chalks up mid-heel hook as he comes up to the final move. Cruising it at the moment, hits, the crimp. And that sounds what you were talking about. Maybe better just to go for the palm.
It might be better, but Yoshiyuki has the strongest fingers in the world.
Fact.
Maybe that's a little bit of a crazy assertion, but maybe not.
He does have
quite the strong fingers of.
I love this, Sam. First time on an IFSC broadcast with me anyway, and you're just flinging the facts around. I'm going to take a lesson from you.
I'll give you some speed clubbing media training.
Oh, please do. As long as I can make stuff up on air, I'm happy with it. This was Yoshiyuki's final move. Good work from him. Quick flash. That is some of our crowd enjoying that. How did that gentleman get a hat like that? I want one of those.
You didn't get
I didn't get one.
Oh.
Did you get a hat like that?
They gave us a rope bag, and it had a little merchandise in it.
Unreal. I did not receive that. I'll have to have a word.
Maybe go have a, yeah.
Well, let's look at our leaderboard. Ignore my hat addiction. Legendary Shark leading the way. Edvard Gruvitz next. I thought it was 4 out of 4. It wasn't 3 with a zone. And then Jan-Luca Posch, he could get 4 out of 4.
Due to this format, I think there's so many attempts in this round than we would see in a World Cup. I'm not sure if it's because of the setting or because of they're more willing to be more experimental because there's another block of time.
Well, also fatigue, I guess. I mean, within 4 minutes, you got 4 minutes, you've got to be on the mats the whole time. With a 2-minute means you go back and rest and reset for the boulder, and therefore perhaps have more energy for more tops.
Yeah, of course,
more attempts. All right, well, we're looking for our 6, so Anjay is outside of it at the moment, and these are the mountains that surround us. I'm sure climbers out there will be looking at those rocks thinking, That is something I want to climb. That's exactly what I did when I first came here. However, very, very crumbly.
Gave us a big lecture, and one of the organizers was like, please, we have a good crag for you guys to go to that's vaulted, but please don't scramble up these rocks. And I had already scrambled up the rocks the first day because it was the first thing I did. I think every climber wants to do it. So they are quite chossy sandstone that'll break off and be dangerous, so they don't have insurance. So
well, there we go. Don't tell me that, Sam. Now I'm worried for you. Yeah, no climbing around here, but as Sam said, a lot of the athletes going out, I might have had a little scramble myself. It is tempting not to.
I think I got here and I was like, oh, there's like Saudi Arabian locals climbing these rocks, and someone else was like, that's the Slovenian team. That's not.
A bit different, isn't it? Well, there is a Slovenian member of the Slovenian team. And for those of you who are wondering, watching this, where the other World Cup athletes are, for example, his teammate Ian Yagambra, well, not everyone has come to this comp. We just had 8 men, 8 women. So a bit of a masters event.
Yeah, it would be interesting to sort of play around with when they have this event in the year, because all of the people who are really excited to go to more comps are here, but I think it's just for Boulder and lead athletes, they've gone to so many other comps, and it's competing with other events as well. So it'll be interesting to see like all these athletes could sort of write home about how great it was, and then if it increases registration.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, someone like Yoshiyuki, for example, you know, he was at the Asian qualifiers, which was just over a week ago, for goodness sake, in Jakarta. So yeah, and comp psych has got to be really high to compete in this.
Yeah, and you really got to talk about climbing in Jakarta versus climbing in Saudi Arabia. It's about as opposite as you can get, where this is the dry desert and Jakarta is the humid equatorial sort of climate.
Exactly that, yeah. Yeah, we were all covered in sweat a week ago. Right, Anže, nearly hits the crimp. Now gets his hands on it, that toe locked in underneath. But the release of those toes, as we saw, especially if your hands aren't quite set, that's really powerful to hold back.
Yeah, and I think he'll try to manage that on his next attempt, where he's going to try to cut feet and get to that next hold.
Well, that'll be the method. He'll go for another rest. Powered his way through the first sequence, got that down.
Semi-final.
But didn't really have a right hand on the final crimp. That was locked in, but once those toes were released, you can see his body momentum taking him backwards away from the wall, and he tried to get a second toe.
What a great 1 hour and 40 minutes it's been so far.
Couldn't quite get it though. Right, Mathieu runs out for his first attempts on Boulder 4.
France. Allons-y.
Jumps up to blow on those first holds, just gets rid of the bit of excess chalk that might be lingering. First go, and the chance for the athletes just to get a sighter on this move.
Yeah, and again, they are watching. So on the third boulder, they knew that everyone else was flashing, and on this one, I think they know that it's not necessarily going to be essential to limit their attempts on this one and just try as hard as possible.
Yeah, and Mathieu, with 1:24 in his first attempt, needs to try hard here. He's got 2 tops already. He's sitting in a good position. He needs to make sure of it.
And I think there's something to say about how sort of demoralizing it is to have that many holds in the zone hold that close to the ground, because your instinct is I should just go right? But you really sort of have to go through this long sequence to get to the rest of this route. You're not going up. You have to go sort of more horizontal.
Yeah, it's true. He could almost touch the zone sticker from his starting position. It must be tempting. Got to go left first of all through those swings. We're just smiling at Mejdi here. We might try to get him down in the commentary box at some point. He's leading the way at the moment. His teammate Mathieu is out and about on the mats with 38 seconds to go on his first attempt. But this move is proving hard. Better this time. Locked the thumb in with the pinch. Now he gets points on the board with the zone. Gets the toe locked in on the right. Now makes it the double. And there it is, pressing up underneath. But this is the release. Now he's done better. It's not a double release like before, but still hard to hold.
And instead of going for just the release and cutting, he really does try to pull through as much as he can to be ready to pull to the next hold, rather than just releasing and expecting to hang on them because it's so small on that right hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he'll reset for this one. Side of his shoe on offer. I love that angle. Launching backwards.
Are you all coming back for the finals tonight? Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Well, you can see there the sun, which is about to drop behind a mountain, illuminating the speed wall in the middle. That will be in action on Friday.
All right.
Speed climbers getting lots of time to practice, which is quite unusual to spend that much time on a wall.
Yeah, usually it actually, like if you're there more than 5 days before an event, you want to go practice at a gym nearby. But it's interesting to train on the wall itself with all the other athletes at the same time. So I got some good races in with the Indonesian athletes and some of the Japanese athletes as well. So it's very it's a new format, and I think it's good for everyone.
Well, we were waiting for a sec. Manu Cornu is out. And I was watching him. I could see him from where I was sitting. He was practicing jumps back there in the isolation area, getting those legs ready for the spring. Well, the buzzer goes. His first 2 minutes on the clock. He's got 2 tops at the moment. Slow start on Boulder 1. Probably the hardest there.
In this boulder is not only just the amount of strength you can jump, you also have to control your jump because you're going to have to... you're also going to have to control your jump to try and not put too much force and swing out of that boulder.
Yeah, there is a lot going on in this open sequence. Gets himself set, looks up. Blocked hold to stop a heel or any kind of shenanigans going on. Has to commit to the swing. He does stop it this time. Gets himself ready, has the heel in. Bumps the right hand, makes the adjustments. Ankle is going to be screaming right now as he commits to the toe. Holds it. He's done one release. He's got to do a second though. That right foot in. Now he does. Great work from Manu. Right, one move away. Big shoulder move coming up. Hits the left hand.
Oh, a tough fall. Let's see if he's okay after that.
Manu was rolling back to his tent there for a sec. He was going. And if you don't know Manu, or you've never seen him before, he's one of the most expressive climbers on the circuit. He's had heartbreaking moments, especially when remember matching that top, celebrating too early and falling.
Yeah. It's great to see people like that on the circuit because I think it appeals to a wider audience and it brings more people into climbing. So
it's brilliant.
Quite the fan.
Yeah, I want him to fling himself at as many boulders as possible, please, in that style. Just maybe don't fall off the mats.
Yeah, just don't get hurt.
Well, that was Manu. That was the roll. You can see with the mats, it's quite unique actually. It's part of the floor. So often the mats are above the surface of the floor. This is set into the floor.
Yeah, and I think that might be because of the ground that we're on, since it's just sand.
True, yeah. There's some kind of parable about building your house on the sand. Can't quite remember.
Building a bouldering competition on pillars of sand.
Exactly that. All right, Gianluca Posch goes on for his first go. Manu Cornu left us. This is great. Our commentary position allows us to hear the athletes, and Manu just walked on to speak to Mejdi and was just like, whatever, next time. Right, Gianluca Posch makes the swing. We know this process by now. Figure out the first few moves, try to stick that left hand, and you can see there's a jib underneath for the thumb. That's what's allowing the athletes to pinch that blue hold.
And if you watch this move, if he doesn't get it, just think about how brutal it is to be slapping that fiberglass and then grating his hand on it from a perspective of skin.
Yeah, that's a good point. If you're watching at home, go find something rough and rub your hands on it for a while. You'll truly understand what they're going through out there.
Yeah.
Shove your feet into something tiny and then you're a climber.
Make sure they're super dry and you're in the Saudi Arabian desert. It's
right.
Optional.
So, Gianluca Posch has got 3 out of 3. Good work from him so far. .40 seconds on the clock on his first attempt on this.
He seems like he just needs to get a little bit to the second hold and engage a little bit faster in order to pull himself up.
Yeah, he's not quite figuring this out. That thumb was better.
Gonna go for it, 20 seconds.
Oh, he's got 17 seconds. He'll want to get this move at least locked in, otherwise he's going to be leaving. Nothing.
Man, that's a hard move to get.
And he'll go again, why not? Trying to figure this out better. But at the moment, as things stand, with 2 minutes gone of his 4, not looking close. Just a zone for him.
We're here as part of the NEOM Beach Games, our mountain village, the IFSC NEOM Masters.
All right, well, next athlete runs out. It is Ritsu Kayotani.
And these guys are intensely competing for that last spot, as everyone sent to the last boulder. So it'll be pretty much even with 6, 7, and 8 between Yoshiyuki, Anje, and Ritsu.
Yeah, this is an important climb. We're witnessing a finals attempt here. 17-year-old, so young, isn't it? But then we think of Serato at 16. His teammate just qualifying for the Olympics in Jakarta.
Yeah, so he's actually in my age category of 2006, and so last year at Youth Worlds, the Youth A podium was Ritsu, Serato, and Toby, and Ritsu beat out both of them, and now we have the two of them are the best in the world at this point. So that speaks volumes about Ritsu and how good he is.
It does. Will he be a future Olympian? We've still got that qualifying process ongoing into next year.
Ritsu, come on.
Right, he's got the toes in underneath. Of course, he won't be able to qualify for the men's side. Tomoa, Narasaki, and Serato taking those places. Which has got to be frustrating if you're a Japanese athlete, knowing they're already gone.
A lot of countries, like Japan and Slovenia for Boulder and Lead, and in Speed, Indonesia and China, they're both so many good athletes from 2, and there's only 2 per country. So it's just so brutal to be competing against your teammates, especially because they do share a wide level of camaraderie. So you're really competing against the people that you want to see succeed, and it's just it's a brutal thing to do.
It is indeed. They go through a lot out there. Ritsu is doing better though. Has the heel locked in on the left, comes into the zone hold. Now with the toes, as we'd expect, 2 this time. He hasn't gone for that second higher toe, so it means he needs a big release. Now he does to get it in on the right. Gets himself set up, that right foot again, flicking backwards. Look at the grimace on his face as he locks in the heel.
Absolutely fighting for this one.
10 seconds though, it's going to go quick.
Yes.
He's going to just do it.
And puts himself in a little extra position to get him. And he is ecstatic after stopping that boulder. You love to see it.
I love the fact he stopped the buzzers. I don't think I've ever heard that. You know, he literally, the buzzer went off mid-beat. Brilliant. Usually it's the buzzer throwing off the athletes.
What an incredible guy.
That was a good one.
Just watch his body language as he gets this top and he fights for it.
There's the right hand.
Yeah, that was the leap at the beginning, springing off into the first couple of holds. Shows you the distance he's really got to travel there.
Big smile on his face from the 17-year-old from the Chiba Prefecture in Tokyo.
Amazing.
So, as we can see from the score, we knew that boulder was important, and it was. Ritsu now up into 4th, so should be pretty secured on that one. Good work from Ritsu, but down the bottom, Yoshiyuki Yata needs something now. Has to find a top. Anje, no top so far, but this is the first go we're going to see Yoshiyuki on this boulder. And he is waiting in the background. Medji Shak leading the way, of course, with 4 tops out of 4, followed by Edwards and Jan-Luca Posch in our top 3. Right, that's the story so far. Yoshiyuki now runs on from the background.
You have to be careful, eh? Here we go!
Yoshiyuki, big moment for this man. Needs something special. Right, Yoshiyuki starts his progress out towards the left. Immediately in with the heel. Good work as he hits the slope, but kicks those legs around. This is confident stuff.
Yeah, Yoshiyuki, incredible athlete. I think he won both 2021 and 2022, the bouldering overall. So one of the best boulderers in the world, just narrowly off the Olympic spot in the Jakarta qualifier.
Yeah, if anyone can pull something out of the bag, he can. Minute 20 on his first attempts.
Almost there, huh?
And still the athletes on the left are trying to figure out the beta. Most of them are out here who haven't gone. Yoshiyuki chalks up. And those are the athletes. Manu, head in his hands. Mejdi helping him out, as you'd expect. And Edvard's picking his nails.
He's had a great round. So you can kind of tell everyone's body language. Mejdi wanted to be dominant. You could tell he wanted to do great in this round. Manuel has a bit of a sort of like expression, like he's still focused. He still wants to see the other athletes. You know, he's a couple mistakes he made, and Edvard is just ecstatic. He's like, oh man, I made this final. You know, he's had a good season. But
it's good to see, isn't it? Usually we don't get to see their faces, but at this stage we do. It's brilliant. Right, Yoshiyuki is one move away. He needs to fling himself towards that final hold, but a foot went, I think.
Yeah, I think that foot just popped off of that. I think that was a texture effects, but that's a tough move to be making. 16 seconds on the clock. I'm not sure if he has. No, he's not going to go for another attempt.
No, remember, he's got that 2 minutes to come, so he will have another go, and he's learned something from it.
And I think you can tell these athletes are starting to make a process of how long each of these boulders takes to try and manage their time. I think we kind of didn't see that on the first one because they were going for it, sort of running it when they didn't have enough time. But now they're sort of learning. It's cool to see.
Yeah, for them as well, this is a new format. I mean, they need to figure it out themselves, and there's always a cat and mouse game between the route setters and the athletes. Well, that was not what Yoshiyuki would have wanted to move him out of the danger zone, but it does bump him up to 7th place. So a tense couple of rounds for Yoshiyuki and Anže, and for Manu as well, who has now left the stage. He was watching all of the athletes. Big moment for him. He could also be pushed below that top 6.
Yeah, so they're just competing between the three of them still. I think Ritsu has secured a finals position, so I think he'll be happy about that. On his performance. So this comes down to the last 3 blocks for Anže, Yoshiyuki, and Manuel.
Yeah, so this round is important. Slovenian athlete runs out onto the stage. This 2 minutes will really make a big difference. Will he make it into the finals? He's going to make sure of the holds first.
Yeah, once again, Anže, 26-year-old with over 100 World Cup participation, so a very, very experienced athlete. He is no stranger to this kind of pressure.
No, and he has got to deal with that pressure, though. Left foot in. He'll start the toe hook process that we know is there. Left hand on a bad hold. Right, he's got the doubles in. Will he adjust before committing to the foot, to the cut loose? Does that right foot, can't find it.
Yeah, I think he's actually full crimping that red hold to the right to try and get a little bit more power when he's trying to cut his feet and go to the next hold.
Yeah, he's just not looking great on the feet. Almost got the toe. Couldn't quite hold it that time. This is pressurized stuff as we hit the minute mark. The buzzer's going to go.
We've got 1 minute left.
Shaking out that right hand, trying to get rid of the lactic acid pump in there.
Where's our Slovenians this afternoon? Slovenia, let's hear you.
Big moments here. Get set up for the lead.
Come on, make some noise for him.
This is where this mental game starts to play in. You know, you start unsending a boulder, going backwards. You've got to put that behind you.
Yes.
And there we go. Powerful stuff.
30 seconds left. I think this is his last attempt, basically.
Yeah, this will be it.
Trying to compete for that final spot. 7th place right now. Let's see if he can do it.
Still not going to be progress, and that is a disappointed man.
You can really tell. Waving to the crowd, taking it in stride.
Great respect.
Well, the crowd will support him. Slovenian teammate there. The women will be competing tomorrow. Eagle-eyed viewers will spot them in the crowd. Everyone supporting everyone else.
Replay on the screen. Incredible shots with the slow-mo.
Right, well, we're just a couple of seconds away, and I've got a bit of a surprise guest who will come and join us in a bit, but that's getting set up. Meanwhile, our drone rotates through these incredible walls that are surrounding us, and Mejdi Shout is leading the way, but look, for Anže, that wasn't enough. He's down in 8th. He'll be out of the competition.
Yeah, great attempts from him, and Yoshiyuki and Manuel has got one more to fight for that 6th and 7th spot. It really does come down. You couldn't have any crazier of an ending for this one.
Yeah, it's going to be really, really tight. Next up will be Maciej Turno.
1500 finals, 1900.
But just 6 athletes will progress. We only lose 2, so less savage than a normal cut where we go from 26 to 8. for this special invite-only NEOM Beach Games competition. Different format, different system, different vibes for sure. The desert offering a stunning backdrop to our competition. You just catch it there, the tents we were talking about.
The living quarters. Never have had anything like it. I would equate it to about like camping in a forest, but it's a desert.
True, with a slightly better tent than my tent. My tent's a bit smaller. Right, Mathieu Tenon is on. He's got 2 minutes to make a difference here. We know Angers is out, so really only one place up for grabs.
Currently 5th place.
Much better. He didn't get that move last time. He does this time. But toes needed, body tension required. Out towards the crimp, those are the toes locked in. Right hand, this is much better from him.
Well,
What's the heel though?
What's the time?
yeah, once again, that confidence of already being on that route with only 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, pressurized moment. He throws that brush down. And the desert in the background. The sun drops now permanently behind the mountain behind us, so that won't bother us for the rest of today, which means
It's getting really cold.
I was about to say, I'm starting to get colder. It's all right, we're nearly done. We're going to get some jackets on. And the athletes as well will go back, rest, recuperate for the finals about 2 hours after this semi-final finishes.
Try and ready. 50 seconds.
Richard takes his time. He knows the beater now. He's figured it out, just needs to be well rested.
And I think he does acknowledge he really only has one attempt with 40 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, he knows, doesn't he? It's got to be about this. Flicks the hands through. Adjusts that heel into a toe.
See if he can get this cut.
Oh no.
Doesn't go for the fulcrum and dry fires. That's a little bit brutal. Let's see if he goes for it with 22 seconds.
20 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, it's not going to be blood, but certainly that would have hurt. He just exploded off that right
Has
hand.
to go now with only 13 seconds on the clock. Time is winding down for him.
I think he's all
Yeah,
done.
I don't think.
Well, that is it. Oh, he will leave the stage. Now, listen, Sam, I'm going to say goodbye to you briefly. Please come back, because we're going to bring Mejdi Schalk into the commentary box. So thank you, Sam. I'll see you in a sec. So as we swap around in the commentary box, we're going to be joined by Mejdi Schalk here, who is our current leader. So, Mejdi, if you put that microphone up against your cheek, how are you doing? Congratulations. What a round for you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was feeling really good here. The atmosphere is really cool, so I was just chilling and wanted to climb take pleasure in my climbing, and it was cool.
Well, it was really, really impressive. And the reason we've got you in the commentary box is Manu Cornu is up next.
Yeah.
You must be feeling nervous for your
Yeah,
friend.
I'm a bit nervous because he have to do it to be in the finals. But yeah, I'm confident. I think he can do it. He told me, this is my start. There are 2 hook and a big shoulder remove at the end. So yeah, he told me, I can miss it.
And Manu's ankle, because and we look now at the score, so he does need this because Yoshiyuki, we know, will come out strong. How's Manu's ankle at the moment?
No, it's quite okay. But I have to be careful when he falls and things like that. But at the moment, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay, that's good news. Good to know. I was there when he rolled it, and it was really nasty. Horrible injury, but he's come back from that and now is on the brink. Exactly, come back stronger, and he's on the brink of a finals now in 6th. And look at your score there. That's outrageous, Mejdi.
Yeah, I don't know. I was in a flow state. I hope to keep this tonight, but it was really cool.
What do you think about conditions? Because obviously it's quite a dry heat.
Yeah, but I like when it's not too cold, because then my hands are quickly very, very cold. But yeah, I like the condition. It was great.
Cool. Well, you obviously did brilliantly. Well, here is your teammate and friend, Manu Cornu. Take a deep breath. He's got 2 minutes. And Mejdi, you know these holds. So this first move, tell us about it.
Yeah, when you understand the move, it's not so hard. Yeah, you really have to be in the timing and catch really well the last hold.
Well, let's see if Manu's learned. Hits the left. And
Just one try.
that thumb you bring in for the jib, the red jib, how important is that thumb?
Yeah, the thumb is really important because he catch your hand, and then you can almost take the one-arm swing. It's really good.
Yeah, it's there. Manu, he's getting it. But it's hard to stop those legs swinging backwards. Big moment. Mejdi is jiggling in the commentary box next to me. He's very nervous.
Allez, Manu!
There we go, allez, Manu. Hits the left better from him. Right, now he needs to go
climb quickly.
Yeah, fast through the overhang. And tell us about these toes, Mejdi.
Yeah, it's okay, you have to be really precise and you have to execute the move really fast.
Oh, he's got him in. Hits the crimp, which is small.
He like that, he knows how to do.
So Manu's in his comfort zone right now, but he's got a minute left. Left toe on, bumps the hand. Mejdi's got all his fingers crossed. I hope you do at home. He's one move away. Hits it with his hands. Oh, he's got to match it. He is going to match it. So he sees you in the finals.
Yeah, let's go. All the first guys in the finals.
That's 3 out of 3 for Team France. Well, Mejdi, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Go and rest. We'll see you tonight.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Bye.
man.
Wow.
That was awesome from Manu. Manu Cornu booking himself a finals place with his teammate in the commentary box. This is what we get to do here at NEOM. It's not usual. I've probably broken a load of IFSC rules, but I don't care. Great to see Mejdi. Great to hear from him. And this was his teammate, Manu Cornu. Sam, what a climb from Manu there.
What a great job, and I could hear Mejdi go down. The French athletes are truly something special. With even the speed climbers, I think.
All right.
Yeah, that was amazing there. Well, let's see some highlights, shall we,
Amazing slow-mo action
from the competition.
on the screen. Yeah.
So very exciting semi-final round with it coming down to the wire and Manu getting that 6th place finals spot.
Awesome work from Manu. Well, we wait. Let's go to the highlights there. Let's watch some of the action from earlier on, shall we? So, Mejdi Shout, we look at our leaderboard. Mejdi Shout at the top. 4 out of 4 for Mejdi. He leads the way. Edvard Gruvitz and Manu Cornu after that. Gianluca Posch, Ritsu Kayotani, Matti Turnon, Yoshiyuki Ogata on 7th. Andrzej Prahak down in 8th, out of the competition. Well, let's have a look at some highlights, shall we, from earlier on in the comp.
Great highlights on the screen.
Well, there we go. That was the action from earlier on. 2 climbers to go, and right now Gianluca Posch runs onto the stage, blowing those hands. He's got 2 minutes to book himself a place. All to play for right now.
Yes, so this would be just for the seeding of the final round based on where they go out, which I think does matter a bit more than it would in a World Cup because they get to watch each other.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we might get, and we've seen how close this comp is. And remember, when we talk about ranking, we talk about the position they are in the final. So if they qualify in a higher position and they get a draw, they will take that win over the other athlete. So it is important, as Sam said. Gianluca match hits the left hand, changes with the feet, gets the toe. I can't believe he's still on the wall here. That was not perfect, but he's made it work somehow with that right toe, you can see. Stands up.
And Matt, could you explain just real quick the format of the finals that they're doing for this event?
Yeah, so the finals is a different kind of system. We have the first 3 boulders, and then only the top 3 will climb the final boulder. So it is different. We'll take it through later on, but you do have to join us 7 p.m. tonight for that action. Men's tonight, that's what we're watching now. Tomorrow we have the women's semi-final and final, and then Friday, the man next to me is going to be excited because it's speed time on Friday afternoon here in the Saudi desert. And Jan-Luca Posch is taking his time with 46 seconds to go.
He approaches the wall. Let's go crazy for him when he makes that move forward.
Our camera pans up to reveal not only the wall, but the wall behind the wall.
The wall behind the wall. If they pan out, you can just see the speed route is 15 meters tall. Just how high this back drop is. It's about, I would say, maybe 5 or 6 times that height.
Yeah, it's deceptive, isn't it? We are surrounded by mountains, literally, here. I heard some organisers trying to work. Oh, Jan-Luca Posch will say goodbye. 18 seconds. I think he was tired. He looked tired.
Yeah, not really going for too much practically, but trying to get maybe a 4x4. But it's all right for him. He will be a finalist.
Yeah, he must know that. I think he made that decision to save a bit of skin. Yeah, I was listening to some volunteers trying to measure the size of the mountains by looking at the speed wall and going, well, it's 4 of those in a row. Well, we're just looking at our leaderboard just to remind you where we're at. That man, Jan-Luca Posch, we just saw him climb. He's in 3rd position with 3 out of the 4 boulders. Yoshiyuki is in the danger zone down in 7th. We'll see him in a bit. Ritsu has booked his place, but as you said, Sam, we'll want to see him. Well, no, sorry, we don't see Ritsu because he's already sent Boulder 4. We're getting our head around this. So we are about to see Yoshiyuki, and this for him is a massive moment. He's got to do this boulder.
This for him is about the best he can do. He has 2 more minutes to get a top, and only a top will get him a final space.
Well, no pressure, Mr. Yoshiyuki Ogata. And he'll know this, of course. So, big moment. The other athletes have all gathered.
These athletes have all gathered, and there is a screen directly to the left that's showing the results board. So they can tell what's going on, and they know exactly what... Like in some competitions, they're used to just, if you hear the crowd cheer, that means they topped. But this one, they know exactly what's going on, and it does change the dynamic.
Yeah, so this is good work from Yoshiyuki. He's a couple of moves away from booking himself a finals position. Up at the left, he falls. Minute 24 on the clock.
He gives himself a little bit of time to rest if he wants to go for just one more attempt, which I think is what he will go for. This is an experienced competitor. This guy knows what he's doing. So he will go for one more attempt, I believe.
Yeah, he'll know. All eyes in this stadium are focused over on him. A lot of pressure from Yoshiyuki, but we know he can handle it. He's the 22 and 23 Boulder champ. One of the volunteers making sure of the holds for Yoshiyuki. Getting rid of that excess dust and chalk. Yoshiyuki goes again. Could be his last time here. Tense stuff as he gets 2 toes in. Remember, it's possible to unsend this. It's tiring. Makes the right catch just.
He had 30 seconds on the clock to make this one move. This is all or nothing for Yoshiyuki Ogata.
It's going to be nothing, and I don't know if he's got anything left in the tank.
I don't know. I think...
No, he's going to call it a day. Well, Yoshiyuki will leave. That was close, but that will not be a finals place.
Quite the fight for a semi-finals round. The 25-year-old from Tokyo, Japan will call it a day. And I think that's our finalist set.
Yeah, we'll get confirmation of that in a sec. There are some of our women who will be climbing tomorrow, who are on the big screen now. They will try to qualify in the semi-finals. Now let's watch Yoshiyuki again. He came so close. Left hand slapping on that top, but not quite getting the final hold. That was the big jump at the bottom. Steep surface. But a good fight in order to hold that. Eyes locked on the side pull. No, we will not see Yoshiyuki again. But we will see 6 others. Well, let's have a look from one of our interviews. Jan-Luca Posch is waiting.
Jan-Luca, well done. How is it today out there? What did you make of your performance?
Yeah, first of all, thank you. I'm pretty proud of the performance. Sadly, I couldn't top the last boulder, but it was so much fun, and yeah, it's just crazy here, and I'm happy to be here.
How much more difficult does it make it just having 2 minutes instead of the usual 4?
Yeah, really difficult, especially at the first boulders. You need to get used to it. Like, I was pretty nervous because you do one try in the first boulder and there's already just 1 minute left, so you really need to be fast.
And a great crowd here. They've really roared you on. What have you made of the experience here climbing in NEOM so far?
Yeah, as I said, it's just crazy. You look around and you think, where am I? And it's crazy that there's a competition here, and I really like it.
Well done. See you later.
Thank you.
Well, let's have a look one more time at our top 6. Mathieu Ternant just got the place. Yoshiyuki Ogata not managing to get the final boulder. So our finalists will be Metschi Schalk, Edvard Grubitz, Jan-Luca Posch, Manu Kornu, Ritsu Kayotani and Mathieu Ternant. Unfortunate for Yoshiyuki Ogata and Andrzej Pahak, but they'll have to sit back and enjoy the desert entertainment instead. And of course that final coming later on. It was a high scoring round. And thank you so much to Sam Watson for joining me here in the commentary box. Sam, best of luck for your finals on Friday.
Yes, thank you so much.
Well, we'll see you soon, everyone. Highlights of the competition. Let's have a look at them, shall we?